Squid Game's fan-favorite character's most important trait was simply irritating. A look at how the Squid Game character's moral compass, meant to inspire, often led to frustrating decisions that cost lives. Seong Gi-hun, the beloved protagonist of Squid Game, is often praised for his empathy, moral integrity, and refusal to become like the people who run these deadly games. By the end of Season 1, he is established as a tragic figure, a man who has suffered enormous trauma and ultimately resolves to take down the organization that feeds on human suffering. However, while these traits are often considered his greatest strengths, they also make him extremely frustrating to watch. His commitment to doing the right thing often comes out at the worst moments, leading him to make reckless decisions, causing deaths that could have been avoided, while focusing on symbolic victories rather than real-world consequences. This doesn't mean Gi-hun is a bad person, but it's time to ask whether his most famous qualities were actually helping. Gi-hun from Squid Game is no doubt a compelling and complex character, but perhaps not as heroic as many perceive him to be. And the narrative only becomes clearer in his pursuit to bring down the people running the deadly game in Season 2 and Season 3. Gi-hun became known for doing the right thing, at least from his own perspective. However, his obsession with the moral high ground often interferes with practical, life-saving action. It becomes most evident when he refused to attack the O team. He argued that it was something that game makers wanted them to do and that it would be wrong, a choice that eventually cost the lives of many on his side. It was not bravery, it was moral posturing that got innocent people killed, just so that he could gain the upper hand on the guards and incite a rebellion. His obsession with stopping the games ranged so high that he wanted to do it at any cost, even sacrificing real people in service of that goal. Yes, Gi-hun is traumatized, broken, and human, but that doesn't mean his choices were always justifiable. His frequent refusal to act decisively when it mattered most makes him a tragic figure, not a clear-cut hero. And it's the constant performance of playing the good one that becomes increasingly frustrating. Gi-hun is a complex, though not flawless, character, and it's time that complexity was acknowledged rather than overlooked in blind admiration. Seong Gi-hun's journey in the show is far from a traditional hero's arc, rather, it's deeply human, marked by trauma, guilt, and a fragile search for meaning. Lee Young-jae, who played the character, described him as someone driven truly to rock bottom, as per The Hollywood Reporter. His experiences reflect not just his personal suffering, but the emotional weight many carry in real life. Gi-hun's defining trait isn't heroism, it's endurance. He keeps moving, despite everything, but the pain he carries never truly leaves him. His refusal to act when action is needed, his obsession with moral ideals, and his symbolic gestures in place of practical ones all point to a man trying to redeem himself, rather than save others. In doing so, he sometimes fails the very people he claims to protect. And that's what makes his character compelling and frustrating at the same time. When asked about what he hopes viewers take from the series, Lee Young-jae shared, "What I hope people take away is that we all get hurt and betrayed by others, which can lead to hatred, but we still have to carry on and live together in society." Gi-hun's inability to move past his trauma and his resilient efforts to awaken others to the humanity within themselves remain unresolved. And his journey culminates not in victory but in ultimate sacrifice. Yet, his final act didn't result in a resolution. The games are over, but the system still survives. Nyeon.